You are 400 kilometers above Earth. You are commander of the International Space Station. One of your astronauts has just suffered a suit depressurization during a spacewalk. He has 8 minutes of oxygen left. You can try to rescue him, but if anything goes wrong, the entire mission is in danger and 6 people could die. Or you can order him to drift away from the station so he dies alone without putting the others at risk. You have 30 seconds to decide. And 15 years ago, when you applied to NASA, you dreamed of floating among the stars. You never imagined you would have to decide who lives and who dies in the vacuum of space. But that is level 5. Let's start back when you thought being an astronaut was just science and adventure. Level 1. Candidate. You are 32 years old. PhD in aerospace engineering from MIT, Navy F/A-18 fighter pilot with 1,500 flight hours. You run marathons, scuba dive, and climb mountains. You are already absolute elite before you even apply. And even so, your odds are ridiculous. NASA opens applications every 2 to 4 years. They receive 18,300 applications. They select 10. That is a 0.05% acceptance rate. To give you an idea, Harvard accepts 3.4%. The selection process lasts 8 months and is designed to break you. Resume review. They eliminate 95% without ever looking you in the face. Technical interviews in Houston. A medical evaluation that feels ripped from a horror movie. They put you in a chamber simulating 7,500 meters of altitude to see how your body reacts without enough oxygen. They strap you into a centrifuge that crushes you with 6 times your body weight while forcing you to solve equations. 600 psychological questions. Full dental examination because a cavity in space is a real medical emergency. They lock you for 5 days in a chamber the size of a closet with 3 strangers. Final round, 50 candidates. 12 veteran astronauts interview you at the same time. Your child has a school play on the same day as the launch. What do you choose? You are on Mars. There is enough oxygen left for 1 person, and there are 2 of you. What do you do? One day in August 2015, the phone rings. Congratulations, you have been selected for the 2015 astronaut class. Starting salary, $66,000 a year, less than what a newly graduated programmer earns at almost any tech company. But you are not here for the money. Level 2. Astronaut in training. You move to Houston, Texas. Johnson Space Center. Your class has 10 new astronauts. They call them the Turtles because every class gets a nickname, and that is the one yours got. The first year is basic training, and it is designed so that 20% drop out. The neutral buoyancy laboratory pool is your new home. 12 meters deep, 61 meters long. Inside is a submerged replica of the space station. They put you in a 140-kilogram suit and send you down for 6 hours to practice spacewalks. The first time, you feel a panic you had never felt, not even flying fighters. A classmate passes out inside the suit 10 meters underwater, and the divers pull him out in an emergency. He does not come back the next day. The centrifuge spins you at 30 revolutions per minute. Your body weighs 6 times normal. Blood pools in your legs and your vision closes in like a tunnel. If you pass out, you repeat it. In parabolic flights, a plane flies curves that create 25 seconds of zero gravity. You practice repairs while floating as your stomach tries to come out through your mouth. You vomit 3 times on the first day. They drop you by helicopter with a parachute over the forests of Maine in the middle of winter, minus 15 degrees. It simulates an emergency landing of a Soyuz capsule in the middle of nowhere. You have to survive 48 hours with minimal equipment. One classmate suffers hypothermia and almost does not make it. In the second year, they send you for 6 months to Russia, to Star City, the cosmonaut training center. You learn fluent Russian because it is mandatory to fly in Soyuz. The Russian instructors are brutal. During an emergency simulation, the oxygen system fails. You have 10 minutes to fix it. You fail. The instructor looks at you. You just killed 6 people. Again. You repeat that simulation 40 times until you can do it with your eyes closed. August 2018. Graduation ceremony in Houston. They give you your astronaut pin, but you still have not gone to space. Now you have to wait to be assigned a mission. Average waiting time, between 2 and 5 years. And then they publish the list for the next mission. 5 people from your class are on it. You are not. Level 3. Mission Specialist. For the next 3 years, you work as Capcom, the person in Houston who talks by radio with astronauts in orbit. You watch your classmates fly to space one by one. You stay on the ground. January 2021. The call. You are assigned to ISS Expedition 68, launch in October, 6 months in orbit. After 6 years, you are finally going to space. You spend 9 months memorizing the location of 50,000 station components and practicing 23 experiments. Your crew, a veteran Russian commander and an American pilot who is a rookie like you. The last dinner with your family. Your 10-year-old son cries. Your wife tries not to cry in front of him. You tell them, "See you in 6 months." But you know there is a percentage chance that something could go wrong. A small percentage, but real. October 14th, 2021, Baikonur Cosmodrome, Kazakhstan. 4 in the morning, traditional Russian breakfast. 6 a.m., they put you in the so-called pressure suit. 8:30, you enter the Soyuz capsule. The space inside is so small you cannot move your arms. You are lying on your back with your knees bent. T-minus 10 seconds. Your heart is at 130. Pusk. Ignition. 20 million horsepower shove you into the seat. 4 Gs of acceleration. You cannot take a deep breath. The vibration is so violent your teeth chatter. 8 minutes and 45 seconds later, you are in orbit. You remove the window covers. You see the whole planet, blue, white, infinite, and you cry inside the helmet. Your whole life dreaming of this moment. Level 4, Crisis in Orbit. Week 3 on the station. You are working on a protein crystal experiment in the European module when you hear the alarm no astronaut ever wants to hear. 3 sharp beeps. Fire, 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 fire in the Russian Zvezda module. Fire in zero gravity does not behave like it does on Earth. It does not rise. It forms a sphere that grows in every direction. The smoke does not go upward. It floats in a dense cloud that blinds you. It can kill the entire crew in minutes, and you are 400 kilometers up. You cannot run outside. The Russian commander shouts over the radio, "Oxygen mask, now!" You put on the portable mask. 15 minutes of oxygen. You float towards Zvezda. The smoke is already black and thick. An electrical panel is on fire. The commander is alone fighting it with a foam extinguisher. The other 4 crew members have already evacuated to the opposite module. He yells at you to leave, but if he fails alone, the station is lost. $150 billion of international investment. You stay. 4 minutes shutting down electrical valves one by one, aiming the second extinguisher at the base of the flames, breathing toxic smoke through a mask that is running out. The fire goes out. You look at your oxygen gauge. You have 3 minutes left. You made it. It takes 6 hours to vent the smoke. During those 6 hours, the whole crew stays inside the Soyuz capsules with seatbelts on, ready to abandon the station if anything else fails. The later analysis confirms that the fire damaged an exterior solar panel and the oxygen recycling system. Capacity reduced to 85%. Houston says you can stay, but just barely. 2 weeks later, it is time to go out and repair the damaged solar panel. A spacewalk, which is what they call leaving the station in a suit to make repairs outside, and which normally lasts between 6 and 8 hours because moving in a 140-kilogram suit with no gravity is painfully slow. You are directing the operation from inside the station while your crewmate, the flight engineer, works outside in the vacuum. You have been at it for 4 hours, and everything is going according to plan when you hear a sound that stops your heart. A continuous beep on your console. Depressurization in the engineer's suit. A micrometeoroid or piece of space junk the size of a grain of sand, but traveling at 28,000 kilometers per hour, has pierced the outer layer of his suit in the left shoulder. The pressure is dropping. He has 8 minutes before the oxygen is completely gone. You can order him back to the station airlock, but if the suit fails completely while he is attached, the depressurization could compromise the entire module and endanger the 6 crew members. Or you can order him to drift away from the station so he dies alone in the vacuum without risking anyone else. You have 30 seconds. He is out there, clinging to a handrail, looking at you through the visor waiting for your order. You tell him to come back. You guide him by radio, step by step. Left handrail. Move forward 2 meters. Grab the rail. He drags himself across the surface of the station with one hand pressing on the hole in his shoulder and the other grabbing whatever he can. Every second that passes, the pressure drops a little more. 6 minutes crawling across the structure. He reaches the airlock. He gets in. You close the outer hatch. Repressurization. His suit oxygen gauge shows 1 minute and 40 seconds when the pressure stabilizes. He survives, but during those 6 minutes you did not breathe even once, and you know the decision you made in 30 seconds could have killed 6 people if the suit had failed completely halfway back. A month later, when you finally start to relax, a private communication arrives from Houston. Your pilot's medical scans show an anomaly, possible blood clot developing. On Earth, it would be a simple treatment. In space, it can be fatal. They can evacuate her in a Soyuz emergency return, or wait 48 hours and confirm. If they evacuate her, the crew drops to 5 and a $2 billion mission is compromised. They ask for your opinion as backup medical officer. You look at the data. Probability of embolism, 30%. Probability of false alarm, 70%. You recommend waiting. 48 hours later, the astronaut collapses during daily exercise. Pulmonary embolism. She survives by a miracle. They evacuate her on an emergency Soyuz. Your recommendation to wait almost killed her, and you do not know whether you did it out of medical caution or because you did not want to compromise the mission. Level 5. Artemis pilot. You returned to Earth in April 2022. You cannot walk for 2 weeks. Muscles atrophied, bones with 2% less density, but you are a hero. Press conferences, interviews, a visit to the White House. Your 11-year-old son tells you, "Dad, you are famous." And then NASA assigns you to Artemis 3, first crewed lunar mission in 50 years. You will be the pilot of the Orion capsule. 2 years of training. You practice the lunar landing in a simulator 500 times. April 2025. Launch. The SLS rocket, more powerful than the Saturn V that first took humans to the moon. 3 days of travel. You watch Earth get smaller through the window until it fits behind your thumb. You are 384,000 kilometers from home. If anything goes wrong, there is no rescue possible. The commander and the geologist descend in the lunar module. You stay in Orion orbiting the moon with the engineer, waiting for them to return. Day 3 in lunar orbit. The call no one wants to receive. Houston, we have a problem. The lunar module has a fuel leak in the ascent engine. The commander and the geologist are on the surface, but the probability that the engine will work for liftoff is 40%. Houston gives you 3 options. Attempt liftoff with the damaged engine, 40% chance of success, 60% chance it explodes. Abandon them on the moon. They have oxygen for 72 hours. You and the engineer come home, they die. Attempt a rescue maneuver with Orion. 15% chance of success, 85% chance the entire crew dies. The commander tells you over the radio, do not risk the mission, go home. She has 2 children waiting for her on Earth. Houston tells you it is your decision as senior pilot. You choose the first option, have them attempt liftoff, because it is what they want. It is their decision about their own lives. You are in Orion, 100 kilometers above, looking out the window at the gray surface. You see the engine ignite, a plume of fire against the lunar dust. The module rises, the engine holds. They reach orbit, successful docking. When the commander floats into Orion, she hugs you without saying a word. Then you look at the fuel gauge. They had 8% left. Between life and death, there was an 8% margin. Level 6, Director of Human Spaceflight. 2026, you return to Earth and NASA appoints you Deputy Director of Human Spaceflight Operations. Salary, $185,000. You do not fly anymore. Now you decide who flies and who might not come back. Your first major assignment, select the crew for the first crewed mission to Mars. 40 qualified astronauts, 6 seats, 3 years of travel. Total duration, 9 months outbound, 18 months on the surface, 9 months back. Among the candidates is your best friend, the crewmate who has been with you since the 2015 class. 12 years of friendship. You select the team based on pure merit. Your friend does not make it. He stops talking to you. 12 years erased. 60 days before launch, engineers find a microfracture in the rocket's fuel tank. Options: delay 18 months until the next orbital window or repair it and launch on time. Congress threatens to cut funding if there is a delay. China will launch its Mars mission in 14 months. Engineering analysis says the repair is 97% reliable. 3% chance of catastrophic failure. 3% chance that 6 astronauts die. You approve the launch. 97% is enough. March 2028, the rocket lifts off. 6 people headed to Mars. Month 7 of the journey. The call you feared. Fuel leak detected. The microfracture they repaired. They are losing 2% of fuel per day. At this rate, they will not be able to break into Martian orbit. The ship's commander asks you directly, "What do we do?" You approved this launch. You order them to abort and return to Earth. The crew comes back in June 2029 after 15 months of travel. Zero science. A $220 billion failed mission. China reaches Mars in September 2029, plants its flag. The United States loses the space race. It is your fault. Congress cancels the program. The NASA administrator resigns. You are the scapegoat, but the 6 astronauts are alive. Level 7, retired, 2030. You are 47 years old. 15 years at NASA. 2 missions to space. 190 days in orbit. 1 fire on the station. 1 astronaut rescued during a spacewalk with 8 minutes of oxygen. 1 crew saved on the moon. 1 astronaut who almost died because of your recommendation, 6 astronauts who came back alive because you aborted Mars, 1 program canceled, 1 space race lost, 1 friendship of 12 years destroyed. You write memoirs, you give talks. Your son, now 19 and studying engineering in college, asks you one night, "Dad, did you ever regret going to the moon?" You do not know what to answer. That night you cannot sleep. You see the face of the astronaut who almost died from the embolism. You see the lunar module fuel gauge reading 8%. You see the Mars rocket taking off with the possibility of killing 6 people. You see your best friend turning his back on you in a hallway in Houston. You have the most beautiful view a human being can have, Earth from space. But you also carry the heaviest weight, the lives that depended on your decisions. You do not know whether you were a hero or just lucky, and that is a question with no answer. That was NASA. Let me know in the comments what other extreme world you want me to uncover. See you.